Another active month for me. I have actually caught up with all my image processing, keywording, and uploading to the stock agencies, so I spent some of that release spare time to create my first audiobook about selling fine art photography, and also uploaded some more images to my own fine art sites. Even after all these years, I still find it very difficult to choose what I think is my best work for a competition or to upload to Etsy. We are our own worst judges, I guess. Update to September earnings. I try to report all the money earned in a particular month in my monthly reports, with one obvious exception. iStock and Canva are always 1 month behind, as they don't report earnings until the middle of the following month. There are a few sites that report in the first week, but they are small, and I estimate the earnings and then correct when the real numbers come in. I was amazed when I checked one site, and instead of the expected $75, I saw $1,391. It is a small company that organizes art for companies that I was invited to join several years ago, and I had been chatting earlier in the summer with one of their art advisors about whether I had other photographs similar to one of my macro images of a seed pod. Little did I know that he actually sold 8-frame prints for the offices of a financial services company, and the payments came through in September. I hope to get a photo of the installation itself, but here are the photos purchased. To keep my financial system straight, I have updated the September earnings totals and the graphs that went with those, and then recorded my October earnings in the usual way. That makes the September earnings total now $4,171, a hard number to beat unless I can get my prints flying off the walls as we approach the holidays and gift buying season. And one final update for September. I reported last month that someone wanted to license 3 of my images for an in-house magazine and asked for 10,000 pixel-wide images. I thought I had really annoyed him with my facetious reply and didn't hear from him again. But this month he was back and downloaded the 3 images after paying the $100 on his credit card. I'll report this as income for October. Back to earth now with my report on October sales from stock and fine art photography. Now that most of the earnings have been posted on the stock sites, my total income from stock photos, stock videos, and print sales in October is $3,363. The month developed well, with sales occurring pretty steadily in each week of the month, which is nice to see. Here is my normal chart that shows the total earnings from selling online photography over the past 6 years or so. It is very gratifying to see a month that is actually higher than the same month in previous years. There have been 6 months this year when the total earnings ended up being higher than most of the previous 6 years. And how many photo files or assets did I need to generate that income? A lot. Almost 23,000 at Deposit Photos, although the agencies that generate the most income have less. Adobe Stock has 15,370, for instance. I didn't actually add many new images in October. I had completed my major uploads in the previous month. A new chart for you this month. A pie chart showing the income and size of contribution from each of the major stock photo agencies in October. As you can see, Adobe, once again, was the major contributor to my income, but was down a little from September. Alamy gained almost $200 from the DACS payment for 2025. I guess I should really spread that out over each of the months, but that does sound like more work than it is worth. Shutterstock made a big improvement from September, almost $120 more, although their AI payout of $35 contributed to that. iStock was also much better than last month. Images licensed for more than $10. I report on this each month as it is a great indicator of a promising month. I reported that last month was not great, with just $82 in over $10 sales, but I went back to check now that the iStock downloads have appeared in microstock, and amazingly, there was one sale on Getty that netted me $75. As we only get 15% of Getty sales, that means they must have paid $500 for that license. Must be a fantastic piece of art, you are thinking. Well, here it is. It is an image I took in China in 2018. Who says that travel photography doesn't pay? I've also noticed an increase in $13 licenses from Dreamstime this year. This license is most likely a 50-credit extended license, which is the most extensive license and allows resale on merchandise, including posters, calendars, puzzles, etc. So, as I surmised before, people could be using these for prints that they are offering for sale. I always knew this was a risk, but extended licenses have been few and far between in the past. Not so in 2025. 43 of them from Dreamstime for $575, including 3 in October. Here are the ones licensed so far in 2025. Big decision. Should I remove my images from Dreamstime, or are these sales that I would not have received in any other way? I doubt very much that some individual looking for a print from their wall would go to Dreamstime and then choose the most expensive license. Assuming they decided to pay for the file, you would think they would choose the cheapest license. So these are more likely to be commercial purchases for a calendar or similar usage. I will perhaps search around to see if I can find any of these files in use. In October, I earned a total of $327 from sales of more than $10 with 17 downloads. Much better. I sold my favorite cat on Adobe Stock this month as well for $26. I don't tend to get many high-value sales with Adobe, but this one brought the earnings from this one photo to $5,500. Sticking with Adobe, as I then sold a photo of my car being recharged at a public electric car charging station for $24, and also an old photo of a pack of Juul nicotine dispensers for $21. I'm liking what I'm seeing with Adobe. Higher price sales, and more recently, I see older images suddenly starting to sell reasonably well, which must mean they are not just prioritizing high sellers in their search results. This editorial image of the Mark Twain Home and Museum in Hannibal, Missouri, sold on Shutterstock for $30, and this one of the Tower of Belém in Lisbon, Portugal, sold on Alame for $30. Don't tell Alex from Brutally Honest Stock, as I am sure he has something similar in his portfolio. Earnings from selling fine art photo prints in October 2025. September turned out to be massive with almost $2,200 of print sales. And let me make that clear, this is $2,200 of profit from print sales, not the cost of the prints themselves. October was unlikely to meet that total and ended with $984. Still very nice. October has had some great individual sales. This one of the moon rising over the historic Woodburn Hall at West Virginia University was sold on the Pictorim site as a 60 by 42-inch canvas print to someone in South Carolina. As usual, there is no real way to track how or where the buyer first saw it, but it is an image that I have promoted in my other website, backyardimage.com. I wrote a story about trying to capture the moonrise over WVU in Morgantown in this post and linked through to the image in my Pictorim store. That makes me think that either the buyer saw that article or did a search on Google, and I ranked higher with my Pictorim print because of the extra visibility through my own article. The profit on this sale was $507, I also sold a small 16 by 8-inch frame print of this panorama of Cooper's Rock outside Morgantown in West Virginia for a $45 profit. This was sold on Fine Art America to a buyer from Pennsylvania. Fine Art America now gives you the location and email address of the buyer. I haven't tried to contact anyone. My attempts to do that when Pictorim provides the email have not been successful. No response both times I tried. I don't recall writing about this particular image anywhere, so it looks like it was a lucky search for me. Here is my chart comparing fine art sales with stock photo licensing over the past few years. It is great to see the continuing level of print sales, but also a bit of a bump in stock photo income as well. Perhaps this final quarter of the year will be a good one. I hope that you are also progressing well and profiting from selling photos online, and that your final quarter of the year works out well. To see more of these videos, please subscribe to my channel below.